Yes, hi everyone, this is David and I welcome you to another IFR video. In this video I will be talking about the mistakes that you can possibly do on an ILS approach. Okay, further or later during your training or when you will do your instrument rating after your private pilot license, you will learn how to fly ILS approaches, okay, instrument landing system approaches. And they are a little bit similar to VOR, or the navigation approaches are a little bit similar to a VOR navigation, but it's more sensitive, and your reactions need to be a little more precise, and that's what we are going through today. I'd like to show you what not to do, or what you should not be doing while flying an ILS approach. Okay, so as you can see right here, I have selected the Daytona Beach International Airport, and we are going to shoot the ILS or localizer one-way 7 left. Localizer frequency is 109.7, final approach course is 070, and so on. Of course, you would brief the entire approach, starting at the header intersection, going to the plan view, all the way down to your minimums. And but I have already pre-selected all this, so this is not the main concern today. Today we will be talking about what things to avoid doing that approach. Okay, so again, this is what we're doing today, and let's switch over to the flight actually. So here we come to the flight section of that, and as you can see here on a little plane, we are located just a bit northeast of the D-land, that's Kilo Delta Echo Delta, and we are currently about to intercept the final approach course or localizer for the ILS 117 left. As you can see here on the nav1, I have pre-selected the final approach course of 070. We already pretend to have identified that ILS, and we also use the Ormond Beach VOR as a backup, so to say, for our final approach fix, which is radial 194. Okay, so we are currently on a heading of 030 at about 110 knots at 1600 feet, which is our minimum altitude until glide slope intersection. And yes, as I previously said, let me stop that again. So this is our vertical needle, which represents our localizer course. So this is the thing that we should watch. Okay, the altitude, of course, besides all other stuff, is currently on autopilot, as I'd like to concentrate on discussing this. So this is our localizer needle, and as we come closer to the final approach course, this needle will also start travel towards the center, okay, the dotted centered line here. And one thing that a lot of students do wrong at the beginning is they either turn too late towards 070 or too early. Okay, so what we don't want to do is follow the needle, okay, or fly the needle. It's a common term that flight instructors tend to use to explain you exactly that mistake of flying the needle. That means you always going with the needle, which is exactly what you should not be doing, because that would result in a curved path towards the ILS, which is comparable to what they call homing, okay, to a station with NDBs, but that's something that's not really being taught that much anymore. It's a little bit old school. Anyway, so let's continue and let's watch what the needle is doing. So again, we are on a course or heading of 030 at 100 knots, and we can basically slow that down a little bit. So I'm of course going to fly now the way you should not be doing it, okay? So next thing what we will see is we will see a reaction again of the vertical needle, the localizer one. Here we go, the needle is coming in, and let's turn towards 070. Again, it's an instrument flight, so instrument maneuvers are to be flown by a standard rate turn, which is when that wing is aligned with that mark. Okay, so let's keep on turning, standard rate turn. So basically we should be stopping here, okay, and I will stop now to show you difference. So right now what's happening is we overshot 070, which means the course is, again, as you can see here, we are flying that way if we continue on that heading, and the course is to our left. So now the next thing is, okay, let's go back to the needle. Okay, so let's turn back and back and back until the needle is moving the other way again. Here we go. Okay, so we keep on turning, and now the needle is centered almost. Okay, that's cool. Now we stay here, of course that's the other wrong thing, and now the needle is going to the other way again, to the right of center. Okay, which means our course is now, as you can see here, a little bit to our right. We are not completely centered. Now we just follow the needle, we fly the needle. Okay, so we'll go past the heading of 070 again. Here we go, past 070. Okay, we'll wait till the needle is coming back. Here we go, the localizer is coming in. I'm sorry, the glide slope is coming in, which is our horizontal needle. And now the needle is centered, and we are just never still. Okay, so this is something that is exactly not good for your approach. Okay, let me stop the simulation right here. So we have been constantly following that needle. Okay, we're disregarding the glide slope for now. It's the same principle though with the glide slope. If we keep on following the needle as we have just flown from the left to the right and back and forth, we will end up doing the same. We'll go up and down and up and down. It's like bouncing on the runway, which we would of course not want to do. So well, how we should do it is, let's say we are on a heading of 060 now, and the needle will slowly start to move to the right again. Okay, which means we are getting centered on the localizer. At that point, we want to stay on that heading and wait just a little bit before it's centered, and as it's centered, we will turn back. Okay, I will demonstrate that to you right now. So here we go, 060. Okay, the needle is back, so let's turn back. Okay, so here we have 060. Here we have the outer marker. It's not, and there's no sound right now because I didn't select it before. Here we go, 07075. Now we should stop. Okay, if we would continue to go to the right again, we will have the same problem as I already mentioned before. Okay, that's what we don't want to do. We want to stop and wait until the needle makes a movement again. Okay, here we go. Now it's centered as well. This was our final approach fix, our backup instrument, so to say. We have not stopped the time, okay, which would also be a mistake doing any instrument flight, especially on any evaluation flights or check rides when you come to the end of your instrument rating. So please stop your time as you hit the outer marker. Okay, so again, the needle moves a little bit to the right. What we want to do is, we of course don't want to stay now, because then we keep on going left and we keep on going off of the course. So we want to move or turn a little bit to the right again and wait. We don't want to fly after the needle. Okay, we don't want to go after it. We just want to wait here, put a little bit of correction in, okay, and wait here until the needle has centered, and then turn back. Okay, if you start to intercept your localizer, do not go ahead and wait until the needle has completely centered and then go to the heading of your final approach course, you should do that just before it's getting centered, okay? Because if you always wait until it's centered, then you will always be just a little tiny bit off course all the time, and you keep on correcting all the time, which is like very bothering. And the same, of course, with the glide slope. And do not forget, an ILS is about 4 times more sensitive than a VOR. So if you intercept the ILS, you probably start with standard weight turns to the left or to the right, and then I would recommend, depending on how much you're off of your course, that you probably put in only half standard rate, okay? Just do like smaller corrections because it's really sensitive, as you just saw in that demonstration. Do not fly the needle, okay? Don't fly after it all the time. It will completely mess up your approach, so to say. So just to show you a top-down view of what we have done and what we should be doing here, this is when we intercepted our localizer course, okay? You can see here that we were flying in curves towards our runway, and here as we're getting closer, here we had our final approach fix, which is folding intersection. Here we start to become a little more on course, a little more steady with smaller corrections, not flying after the needle anymore as we did right here. Okay. Now again, this was not a perfect ILS. This was just a demonstration on what not to do on your with your needle. If you have any questions or whatsoever, feel free to contact me. I would be happy to help you. But I hope that lesson helped you in general, and practice. That's the best you can do. Have fun flying, and best of luck for your lessons and your training. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.